Sweet potatoes are an essential crop in everyday food production, valued for their resilience, nutritional value, and versatility in the kitchen. Red, white, and other varieties offer different textures, sweetness levels, and skin colors, but they share similar growing requirements. Although sweet potatoes are relatively hardy, achieving strong yields and well-formed roots requires careful soil preparation, proper timing, and steady management from planting to harvest. The process begins with soil preparation, which plays a crucial role in root development. Sweet potatoes grow best in loose, well-drained, sandy or sandy loam soils. Because they develop underground storage roots, compacted or heavy clay soils can restrict expansion, resulting in misshapen or undersized roots. The ideal soil pH ranges between 5.5 and 6.5. Before planting, the soil should be loosened to a depth of at least 8 to 12 inches. Removing rocks and breaking up clods creates a soft structure that allows roots to grow freely. Forming raised beds or long mounds improves drainage, increases soil warmth, and encourages uniform root formation. Fertilization must be balanced. Well-decomposed compost can be incorporated into the soil to improve structure and support steady growth. Sweet potatoes do not require excessive nitrogen. In fact, too much nitrogen promotes vigorous vine growth while reducing root development. A balanced approach that supports root formation rather than excessive foliage is key. Phosphorus and potassium are especially important for healthy root expansion and overall plant strength. Unlike regular potatoes, sweet potatoes are not grown from seed tubers. They are planted from slips, which are young shoots grown from mature sweet potatoes. Slips can be produced by placing a healthy root in moist soil or water until sprouts develop. Once the slips reach about 6 to 8 inches in length and have formed small roots, they are ready for transplanting. Planting should occur only after the danger of frost is past and the soil temperature has warmed consistently. Sweet potatoes thrive in warm conditions and grow best when temperatures remain between 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. Slips are planted directly into raised beds or mounds, burying the lower portion of the stem while leaving the upper leaves exposed. Spacing typically ranges from 12 to 18 inches between plants and about 36 inches between rows, allowing vines to spread. After planting, firm the soil gently around each slip to eliminate air pockets and water thoroughly to help establish roots. As the plants grow, they produce long trailing vines that cover the ground. These vines help suppress weeds naturally, but early weed control is important before the plants spread fully. Gentle hand weeding during the first weeks ensures strong establishment. Sweet potatoes are relatively drought-tolerant once established, but consistent moisture during the early growth stage and root formation improves yields. The soil should remain moderately moist but not saturated, as excessive water can lead to rot. Different varieties, red-skinned, white-fleshed, orange-fleshed, and even purple types, may vary slightly in growth duration and flavor profile. Some mature earlier, while others require a longer warm season. On average, sweet potatoes are ready for harvest 90 to 120 days after planting, depending on the variety and growing conditions. Harvest begins when the leaves start to yellow and growth slows, usually before the first fall frost. Using a fork or spade, the soil is loosened carefully to avoid damaging the delicate skins. Sweet potatoes should be lifted gently and handled with care, as fresh skins are easily bruised. After harvesting, they should not be washed immediately. Instead, they must undergo a curing process. Curing involves placing them in a warm, humid, well-ventilated area for about 7 to 10 days. This allows the skins to toughen and natural sugars to develop, improving both storage life and flavor. Once cured, sweet potatoes should be stored in a dry, well-ventilated space at temperatures between 55 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius to 16 degrees Celsius. They should not be refrigerated, as cold temperatures can damage their texture and taste. Under proper conditions, they can be stored for several months. Growing sweet potatoes, whether red, white, or other varieties, requires warmth, loose soil, balanced nutrition, and careful handling. When planted at the right time and managed with steady attention, they reward the grower with abundant, nutritious roots that store well and provide reliable food throughout the season.